So the only person that didn't practice today was Tyron, but he's in the protocol, so doing very well. We'll just see how he does tomorrow, and there's a chance if everything works out, then he'd be able to get back. So we look forward to the challenge of playing Cincinnati. We know they're a heck of a football team. Zach does a great job with that, with the team. They play hard and aggressive. Again, I look forward to playing here at Arrowhead. I know it'll be rocking. So, anyways, with that, time's yours.
Go first to Herbie Tiopi. Go, Herbie.
And Coach, specific to injuries, how did Rashad Fenton and also Darrell Williams look to you out there? Do you project them to probably be available for this week?
Yeah, they did good today. Yeah, they moved around good.
You mentioned after the game you mentioned Monday that pretty quickly after the game you had already moved on and started looking to Cincinnati. At what point do you feel, when the players came in, did you feel like they were already there? Is that part of the conversation you have this week after an emotional win?
Yeah, well, they all were saying it after the game. They were excited about that game, but they said, we still got another game here that we got to get ready for. So enjoy the moment, but it's time. We got to move on. So it wasn't just me saying it. It was Pat and the badge. Everybody, they were all speaking that when they came in here. So they knew that this thing moves fast, and you're on to the next one pretty quick.
For the last two, go Vahe and then Matt. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy. I know chemistry is an intangible thing, of course, but I wonder if you have any way to describe the sort of connectivity that you see among Patrick, Travis, and Tyreek in particular, because it seems pretty distinct from things most of us have ever seen before.
Yeah, it's special. They all three of them trust each other, and that's important. They kind of have that innate ability to know where the guy's going to be against whatever leverage the defender has on him. So I appreciate that. And it's a fluid game, so you're going to have to make adjustments. You're going to have to do it with routes where you have to – it's not going to be perfect like you might see with a card that you've drawn up. And, the other team's playing too. And so you have to maneuver around, and it sure helps to have that chemistry when teams are showing you a bunch of different looks.
Coach, I'm just curious what your thoughts are as far as how well Joe Burrow handles pressure. He's been under a lot of it. He was sacked 9 times in the last game and still managed to keep from turning the ball over. How rare is that, and how impressive is he in that category?
Yeah, well, listen, I think these young quarterbacks are great for this league. He's one of them. So he's a heck of a football player, and he does a nice job with those guys, and Zach does a nice job with them, along with their coordinator and coaches. So he's a coach's kid that knows the game and kind of gets it.
Let's go next to James.
At the Bills game and just how intense it was and how stressful. There's been some information that was put out about your heart rate during that game. What about, these situations? How do you stay so calm and collected during stressful games like that?
I think it's a little bit of a couple things. First off, I've been in some of these situations before now. I've played in some big games and had to make some comebacks, and I know I have the teammates to do it. So, I know that what it takes to go out there and find a way to win. And then I think just preparation. We prepare for those moments throughout the whole entire season with Coach Eric Bieniemy, and he puts us in situations where we have to execute at a high level and not favorable situations. And so I think preparation and then experience definitely helps me in those moments.
Let's go next to Herbie Tiopi. Go, Herbie.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm well, thanks. Nicole Hardman, Byron Pringle, DeMarcus Robinson this past year and even into the playoffs. But what kind of luxury is it for you to have those kinds of weapons and you can rely on them outside of just throwing it to Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I think not only having them and all their different skill sets that they have where they can make big plays happen and everything like that, but just the relationships that I've built with those guys over the years. Guys like Byron Pringle, I've thrown to him for 3 or 4 years now. DeMarcus Robinson, same thing. And then McCall, I've been with him since he's entered the NFL. So just knowing where they're going to be at, knowing how they play, and developing those relationships and that chemistry with them, I think helps out a ton when you're out there on the football field.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Hey, Brad, yeah. Sorry, Brad. You didn't have you unmuted. I apologize. Patrick, the comment was made by Joe Burrow about Arrowhead not being as loud as SEC stadiums. You've been around some loud stadiums in college, been around most of the NFL ones. How does Arrowhead's noise compare, and is he in for a rude awakening?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in some pretty loud stadiums. I've played in a couple SEC stadiums. I mean, Arrowhead's pretty loud. I don't think you can get around that, and I'm sure it'll be pretty loud this weekend. They're a great football team. They're coming in trying to win a big football game. But I'm glad we're at Arrowhead and we have a chance to use our crowd to our advantage on trying to find a way to get a win.
So next down. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Brad, I'll have a couple things. Patrick, at what point did you turn your attention to Cincinnati, and in what manner did you turn your attention to this game?
I mean, I did when I came in on Monday morning. You celebrate with your family and everything for that big win that we had. It was an awesome game that we'll remember forever. I mean, we're not done. I mean, we're trying to go out there and win the AFC Championship and then try to get to the Super Bowl. We understand that this is a great football team we're going up against. They've already beat us once this year. And if we don't give everything we have in preparation during the week, then we're not going to win at the end of the week. So I kind of turned the page quickly, and I'm ready to go. Just try to keep getting better every single day.
And then you mentioned Eric Bieniemy's meetings, those meetings you guys have on Friday that discusses late game situations. Can you sort of reveal what takes place in those meetings, I guess, without giving away exactly your game plan?
Yeah, you go through every type of situation. I mean, you go through the situation we were in, trying to need a field goal and get it, and where we have timeouts and we can use the middle of the field. We also go through situations where we don't have timeouts. We need to get out of bounds or find a chunk play and get up and spike the ball. So you have to be able to go through every single situation that you can be put in, and they do a great job of doing that. We have plays called for every situation, and everybody understands it. And that's why I think you saw the communication between the whole entire offense, knowing exactly what we needed and to get in Butker's field goal range and tie the game up.
We'll take three more, starting with Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Patrick. Brad, I'll have a follow-up also. Patrick, you've spoken about this before, but and nothing against, obviously, all the other guys who've emerged, but I wonder if you can account in some way for the mind meld you seem to have with Travis and Tyreek in particular, what it takes to have that feeling with them.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a lot of reps, just going out there and seeing a lot of different coverages. The good thing about being in this offense with these guys that we have is we've seen pretty much every single coverage you could possibly see. And so if guys have seen those, they recognize those on the field, and they know how to get themselves open within the system of the offense. And I think that's what you see. I mean, even on the play to Travis, he knew what the other guys had on the play, so he knew he could do that. He could go down the seam and get the catch. And you have to be able to not only know what you have, but everybody else in the entire offense has. And that just comes with guys that learn the offense and learn it the right way.
Clyde, I know you didn't play in the first matchup with the Bengals. I'm just wondering what you noticed from that game that maybe you can use to your success. Obviously, I know you're close with Darryl. And just how much of your experience last year of sort of battling through an injury can help you in a game of this magnitude?
Well, every game is different, and watching film is literally my job. So even the times, that I didn't travel for the Bengals game, but I watched everything on TV and just seeing a TV copy and then being able to go watch the film as far as how we watch it. You can see different things and see how you want to attack certain things. But as far as having the same game plan going into the next game, obviously it won't be the same. So I really couldn't tell you. I mean, I can tell you what I saw from the game, but I mean, we could go on all day about that. But different game plan and some of the things that I saw, I'm gonna try to attack it and go from there.
Let's go next to Herbie Tiopi. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Clyde, how are you?
Doing good.
You obviously suffered that injury in Week 16. How frustrating was that period of missing the final two regular season games, the win against the Steelers, and where are you now with your health?
Well, man, I would say, and for you, I would say it might have been. Well, some people I would say it was frustrating, but I would say it's just one of those things that comes with the game. It was obviously a I wouldn't say a freak accident, but one that I really wasn't expecting to happen at the time, and how it did happen. It was just one of those injuries that really didn't know what was going on at the time. But once we was able to kind of diagnose what was going on, like you said, it was the last 2 games of the season, so we handled it how we needed to handle it, and able to get me back in for this second round of playoffs.
Thanks to Steve Wall. It's good, Steve.
Hey, Clyde, what's happening, brother?
What up?
Not much, man. Hey, you looked like you had an extra bounce to your step, so to speak, on Sunday. How fresh do you feel now as you're going into the AFC Championship?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say nobody's 100%, but I would say just having that fire, really not playing. Everybody would say fresh, and I remember when I came back from the knee injury, that was the first thing everybody was saying. But I come in day out and still do the cardio, still doing all the work that I needed to do those weeks in order to be on the field and look, I would say fresh that everybody would say, but just sitting down on my back and chilling didn't expose that. Being able to do those things in between the lines when I needed to, the things that's not seen on TV kind of made me look the way I look. So it was a lot of hard work that went into I would say looking as good as I did.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Hey, Clyde, I know that Coach Reid uses a lot of backs here, but clearly it was your job to start the year. As you're sidelined again, another tough break, and you're watching Jarek doing what he's doing, how do you kind of marry, okay, of course I'm going to support my teammate, you're a good teammate, but also this is kind of ultra motivating for me when I do get back on the field?
Nah, man, it's a running back room and a running back group. That's what we do, and we knew from the beginning, from training camp. It was just one of those things. Coach Reid and I, EB and I, we've as an offense had multiple conversations, and even having conversations with running backs, with the running backs in the room, from Jet to DG to Darryl. It was just one of those things we knew. From the times that I wasn't playing or Jet wasn't playing, Jet was on IR, and then it was DG and Dirty's time. So it's not one of those things you look and get envious. Right now, our end goal is to win a championship, bro, and that's it.
Last 2, we'll go Harold and then Sarin. Go ahead, Harold.
Clyde, this team has shown an ability when they played an opponent the first time, they come back and win and improve offensively as well, both in the throwing and sometimes in the running game. What do you feel that it is about this team that when you play a team for the second time, you guys learn your lessons and come back and come out on top?
It's I would say it's one of those things you learn from, but man, it's really just kind of human nature, having that taste and having that bad taste in your mouth after a loss, knowing, I want to say that we felt like we gave it away, but just having an opportunity to win a game and kind of not finishing and not leaving the way we wanted to leave, it obviously leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So the things that you want to do, the pinpoint things that you need to do and get it down, you tend to do those things throughout the week, and hopefully those corrections come on Sunday and we come out with a dub.
We'll go last to Sarin Petro. Go, Sarin.
I'll have a quick follow-up, Brad, if I could. 13 seconds, right? What's that mean for you? How often has that been said around the complex? Because around this town, it's been said, I don't know, a couple trillion times. How often has 13 been said around the building?
I would say I didn't hear it that much. It's one of those things that we always prepare for. It's just, everybody, like, I was on the phone with my dad after the game, and it's just one of those things. Everybody was like, oh man, it's 13 seconds and probably thinking the game over, turning the TV off and doing those things. But we work and execute those things, and I'm looking at 13 seconds like, man, they gave us this much time to go down the field, so let's just go do it. And man, we walking out there just as cool, calm, as collected as we possibly can be. I done been in, these guys has been in multiple situations, from young to now, and now it's just that's just one of those things. Go out there and win the game. It's either win or go home, and we know what we needed to do.
In the second half of the season, Patrick's gotten, it seems like the running back's a lot more involved in the passing game. When you got a quarterback that can right foot 40 yards down the field the way he does, right, you want to take those big chunks, but did you guys have to go lobby for getting a few more balls thrown your way at some point during the midseason?
Man, when you're playing almost 20 games, people start to make different adjustments, and being able to have someone special like Pat, you don't need to let them know or give them little ear checks. We watch film. He watches film. We watch film as a team and a group. And just as having those guys as far as on the offense, man, we know what we need to do. And he made the adjustment, and now the running backs are being more in the game. So this is what it is.
When you think about it, we kind of went out there and executed the way we wanted to. We didn't tackle very well. When I go back and look at the film from last game, so that's kind of something that we can clean up. We can clean up as a whole on our side, tackling better and making plays out there in space. But again, those guys come out and execute at a high level last week. We didn't play our best football, and so it's up to us to prepare the right way, go out there and execute at a high level this weekend.
Thanks to Herbie T.O.P. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Nick, sort of as a follow-up to what Adam was just asking you, you're mentioning the execution that was missing from that Week 17 game. What is the underlying message from the coaches to y'all as you prepare for this game against the Bengals?
Yeah, execution 111. That's kind of the mindset we got for this week, doing our job to the best of our abilities, going out there, having fun, communicating, flying around, playing Chiefs football. And so that's kind of what our mindset is right now. We're trying to do our 111s, trying to focus in on what we can do in the scheme-wise to make things a little bit as difficult as we can for the people that got over there. And other than that, just go out there executing, tackling, and having fun.
Hey, Byron, hope you're doing well. Your teams have shown, the Chiefs all year, and really for the last couple of years, have shown the ability when they lose a game the first time, they come back and have that like revenge mentality and played much better offensively too. What is it about the film study and the preparation going into a game where you know that you lost the team the first time that makes you just so much more motivated to win this time?
Yes, sir. It's not no pressure, just go out and execute the things that the coach give us, and don't leave it out there when you walk away from the game like, I wish I could have did this, I wish I could have done that. Do it during the week. So on game day, you go out and execute at a high level.
Let's go next to Herbie T.O.P. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Byron, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Hey, I'm well, thanks. Hey, Brad, I'll have two questions. Byron, the first question, you seem to be in the zone when you get near the end zone. What's behind all these touchdown catches over the past month?
Oh, man, just go out there and beat my man whenever we line up, whenever Pat give me an audible, whenever he look at me, just be able to make that catch. And because, you don't get them back, so I try not to be like, look on the game and be like, I wish I'd have had that back. Just come down with it and watch it into the tuck. So that's be my main thing. And go out and have fun, no pressure, just do me.
And speaking of no pressure, going back to the offseason and to where you are now, did you do anything special to prepare for a larger role in this offense, especially knowing that Sammy was not going to be around?
The only thing I did was just cut my weight down and just try to get faster. That was my main goal for the past offseason. And maintain a good weight throughout the season. I've been doing that well. So I think that was my biggest thing that I wanted to do, was maintain my weight and be able to keep speed.
We'll take the three hands we got up, starting with Adam Tesher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Byron, can you take us through the touchdown that you caught from Pat in the Buffalo game? Can you kind of take us through that play? What happened from your perspective?
Yes, sir. I know I had to take my time getting over there, and I just tried to load my man to sleep and beat him with speed to the back pylon, and that's what I did. And once I seen Patrick Mahomes release it in the air, I just went and attacked it out of the air instead of letting it fall down and the defender make a play on it.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Byron, I see you're wearing the special team shirt. In the first matchup, you were very close to getting a return for a touchdown on the kickoff. Just how much are you hoping that you and the rest of the special team unit can have perhaps a similar impact on the game, and obviously it counts this time?
Every week we go in, going in to score a touchdown on kick return. So that's the everyday thing, and nothing gonna change, And we're just gonna go out there and give it our all on special teams, defense, and offense. So we ready.
And we'll go last to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Byron, one of the special things about Pat is his ability to extend plays into like second and third play, especially in the red zone. How aware do you have to be, okay, the play's not over, and how much you actually enjoy those type of moments where, okay, the route's over, but I can go anywhere and get open here?
Oh, yeah. It's a scramble drill that I've been doing since high school. So wherever he go at, I just try to go get in his view, and hopefully he find me. And he been connecting with me pretty much this season. So I just keep working, just find the open zone and just be prepared to catch the ball because you know he'll hit you with a no look sometimes. So just be prepared.
Byron, we appreciate the time. Thanks.
To ask you, first of all, I know you said earlier this season that you had some time of adjustment playing on the Chiefs offensive line. Can you just talk about, what it was that kept you positive through that? I mean, obviously they acquired you, so they knew that you had skills that they wanted. But what was it that kept you going as you were learning?
Gosh, I'm not someone that's a quitter. You know what I mean? And that's just not the way I was raised. And, from my parents and the way that I approach the game, I always feel as though there's an answer of some sort. And, Coach Heck had a ton of patience with me. Coach Reid, Coach EB, really helping me grasp and really understand the system and the scheme. And as time has gone, I've gotten a lot more comfortable. I don't feel like I've figured it all out yet, but I've gotten a lot more comfortable playing within the scheme.
Let's go first to Sam McDowell. Good, Sam.
Second, Brad. Hey, Orlando. Can you take us through the huddle with 13 seconds left? I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire talked about how you guys were cool, calm, and collected. I mean, what's said in that moment, and just what is sort of the mentality in those moments?
Yeah, we have a ton of confidence in what we can do, man, and execute. With us only needing 3 points at the time, we felt like we could do what it took to put ourselves in a field goal position. And, obviously he comes out there, tells Tyreek whatever he tells Tyreek. He catches the ball, I think it's for, however many yards gained, and then timeout. Then the next play, we get on the line of scrimmage. All I hear is, do it, Kels, do it, Kels. I thought I was getting chip help. I didn't know what was going on. And then, he passes the ball to Trav, and Trav makes the play. Harrison kicks the field goal. So it's just a ton of confidence, though, man. 15 is great. And, he's very, very poised in the moment. And, I got a lot of trust in him. I just want to do my job to make sure we could execute as an offense.
Jenny, I think I cut you off there. If you want to fire away your second one, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Hey, I just wanted to ask you, Orlando, you and Creed, obviously, being former Sooners on the line together. What's the point of pride for you guys? I know Creed having the season he's having, obviously you stepping into that left tackle spot. What's the talk amongst the two of you just about those roots that you have?
Yeah, it's nothing short of a blessing to be able to, obviously play in this league and to be able to play for a franchise like this. We've definitely haven't taken it for granted. I've enjoyed playing with Creed. At OU, I played with him, but, he wasn't the starting center. It was a different player, but he was on the team and everything. And, so I got to know him a bunch. And he was always at the house because my roommates were best friends. But, man, Creed's been great, though. Like you said, as a young player in this league, especially playing offensive line, especially center, it's really hard to come in and be consistent and dominate your position, and he's done that.
Go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Orlando, so much of your story, and we talked about it before, but it's just playing left tackle, and that's part of the reason that you're here. With the Ravens, you were the divisional round twice. This will be your first AFC title game at home. I know it's football once the game starts, but what do you anticipate the emotions will be like for you as you get ready to play this game?
Definitely crazy, man. It's a very important game, as you said, man. It's the AFC Championship. And, it's super special to be in this position. I definitely, I'm not taking it for granted at all. And, man, my emotions going to be all over the place. But I'm super excited to really get out there.
Last two, we'll go Nate Taylor and then Sarin. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Orlando, I got a couple for you. Just how difficult was it to go through the injury before the Cincinnati game? And obviously, in watching that game, and similar to what Harold asked some guys earlier, just what about watching that game will help you and the rest of the offensive line prepare better or be better for that challenge? And how much of it helps you guys in this sort of rematch setting, just playing teams a second time for this specific rematch?
Yeah, I think it's definitely harder playing the defensive line the second time. The advantage that we do have is we are at home, and being able to execute cadence definitely is going to make a big difference. Not having to deal with crowd noise. I think that Coach Heck does a really good job preparing us throughout the week, especially with these teams that we've played before, whether that be fundamentally or X's and O's. And as far as the injury, man, it was tough to deal with at the time, but I'll move past that.
And last is Sarin Petro. Go ahead, Sarin.
Orlando, watching Patrick, kind of scramble out of there a couple of times, there seems to be a much better chemistry amongst you guys, like the learning curve of him figuring out how it is you handle guys, you maybe figuring out how he handles guys, or how he handles, how he likes to escape. Is that something you guys discuss and work on, or is it just something that you got to have those repetitions and get a feel for each other?
Yeah, just really the repetitions and getting a feel for each other, and then from there is discussion. But Pat's been doing an amazing job in the pocket, man. Moving around, making guys miss when he needs to, stepping up, stepping out and around, making plays, getting the ball out of his hands when he needs to. He's been doing a great job. And when he's playing really well and moving really well in the pocket, I'm doing a good job keeping width on the pocket, and they're doing a good job keeping the depth inside. Man, anything is possible. 15 is a great quarterback. He does a really good job adjusting, man, and he's only made me better.
Orlando, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Yep, no problem.